Car campers of the world unite. This beginner needs your help. Hi, hello and welcome. My name is Stephanie and I really must say thank you ever so much to everybody who watched my last car camping video and subscribed and waited very patiently for me to get this next one out. I am ever so sorry it's taken so long, and thank you so much for being patient while I sorted out all my life dramas. So where do we leave off? In the last video, which was actually my first ever car camping experience, I was living in Spain and I just kind of like bungled everything together and thought, you know what, I'm not going to spend any money doing this whatsoever because what if I don't like it? And I hopped myself into my little Ford Fiesta with my very basic setup and off I went for the night. I really, really loved it. I really enjoyed it. You know, essentially it's just camping, but without having to bother putting a tent up. So what's not to love? I'm a happy camper. But the only thing that I actually found really difficult that time was the fact that the platform of which I was sleeping on, how posh. The platform which I was sleeping on was essentially made up of my seats being folded forward and my airbed being on top. Didn't really occur to me the fact that the bit where the seats are is a hard surface, then you've got a slightly lower surface at the other side where I had a box where stuff's kept, and then in the bit where the actual boot, it kind of drops down, and so with the three different levels it wasn't quite so easy to sleep on. So that's what we're going to get onto with today's video. I am going to try and improve my sleeping platform and then test it out for the night. Let's go!
I want to keep costs low with this project, so I've been thinking outside of the box what I could use. I also don't want to remove any seats or make a permanent structure because I want my car to always be a car first and a camper second. I'm far too lazy to remove seats and replace them each time I go on a trip, and I don't want to draw attention to it, especially when I go out for the day. I don't want thieves thinking I might have valuables left inside. For that reason, I also want the structure to be as slim as possible so that I can keep my whole setup in the boot during the day with the parcel shelf on top. I never leave valuables in the car, but thieves don't know that, so if they see anything that looks like I live in the car inside, they will chance it, and I can't be bothered dealing with a broken window. I had some drawers that were severely damaged and no longer any use as drawers, so I dismantled them. I used some of the parts to make a headboard for a friend who had a bed that matched that wood, and saved the rest of them to see if I could use them for this project. I also had a very damaged bed that had to be disposed of as it was irreparable, so I kept the wooden slats and the bolts to, again, see if they might come in handy. The slats ended up being too flimsy for this project, so I didn't use them, but the bolts were perfect for it. I colour-coded the bolts so that the black ones stay permanently in place, and the silver ones I used to put the pieces together each time. Even the Allen keys I used for this project were ones left over from an old IKEA unit, so in total the build cost me, drumroll please, nothing. Totally free, absolutely 100% free. The thing that I would like your advice on is showering. So far, I have only done one night trips, but I would like to go for a little longer. And although I'm okay going without a shower for a couple of days, I would not be happy going for a week. I thought about things like a gym membership, but I don't want to get a gym membership just for an occasional trip, as although it's worth it if you live in your car or long-term car camp regularly, for a few nights it's just not financially viable for me. It also means I'd have to plan where I stay around gyms, and I want more freedom than that. Has anyone used a solar shower bag? If so, did it get hot enough, and would you recommend it or advise against it? I'm not sure how well it would fare in the UK, but I'm hoping it would at least be a good option when I camp in Spain. Any thoughts or suggestions on solar showers or any other shower ideas, please comment them below. Thanks in advance! In a couple of weeks, I plan on travelling more around the UK, so I'll have more videos up charting that experience soon. I rendered some of these boards in place to make the build easier and quicker each time, but I left 2 of them able to pivot so that they're easier to fit in the boot. Annoyingly, in my boot, I've got this one little metal bit that sticks out where it holds like the seats in place, and it just doesn't sit comfortably if I don't allow these 2 extra bits to pivot. I also rounded off the edges to make it easier to fit comfortably in the boot, and also just so that it's a little bit easier and I don't end up stabbing myself in the corners. I had a mattress topper that a neighbour no longer wanted, and I cut it to size. I took my airbed on this trip with me too, but I didn't end up needing it, which was ideal as I wouldn't need to inflate and deflate it each day. I drew a body on the boards to quickly see where each piece goes, and I numbered the order of which the screws go in. Stupidly, I hadn't planned any of this before I pressed record, so it took a while and my camera battery died, but you'll get the idea of how I did it. Hopefully I've shown you in this video that it is actually totally doable to make some sort of setup which is completely free or just really cheap. I didn't want to bring my camera equipment with me on this trip, as really it was just a test for the bed platform to see if I needed to make any adjustments. So I've recorded putting it together in my own driveway, and then I packed up and headed off for the one night. I must say it was a total success. I was kind of thinking as I was putting it together, like, would I be bothered putting it all together and taking it apart each time if I was to go on a longer trip, like a week? And then I kind of thought, you know what, it takes me 5 minutes to put it all together. And if somebody told me that they would pay me £100 to put this together in 5 minutes, I would take it. And that's around how much a place costs for each night around the UK if you're staying somewhere relatively basic. So actually, yeah, it is totally worth it, and I would do it. I can also put the structure together from the inside of the car, so if it was raining I could do that, but it would be too difficult to film, and it's a nice day anyway, so I'll show you from the outside. If anyone watching this video has actually never been car camping and just kind of watching it just to see what it's like and how you could do it, then my advice is just go for it. The first time I tried it, I had no clue whatsoever, and yet, I don't know, it was fine. I actually made window coverings as well, which I haven't shown in this video, but that is purely and utterly because this was just to get the bed platform right. But maybe I'll show you how I made them in a future video. For now, take care, be safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!